I was just about to say, I was going to shamelessly attempt to bribe you guys into asking questions. My candy stash here. Just in case, you know. This will motivate you to ask those questions that you're thinking. Alright, so we have one. Here. Oh, cool. Here's your Smarties.
If you had so many rejections, what kept you mailing out the book? What was your motivation? How did you keep doing it?
That's a really good question, and I will say, you know, looking back now, I can laugh. There were so many, you know, nights when I would lock myself in the bathroom and there'd be tears. You know, I can laugh about it now, but it was pretty, you know, it was serious back then. You know, I'd cry when they would come in. But I had an amazing writers group, and we were all in this together. You know, we were all trying to get published. We were all writing stories, and our rejection letters never came in on the same day, fortunately. So, you know, when I had a really bad day, we were all online. So I would post, and, you know, they would tell me, it's okay, that literary agent's insane. Don't listen to them, you know, keep going, keep doing it. And so because I had that support network, and, you know, these girls and guys are just awesome. And so, you know, if you are a writer and you're looking to get published, I highly recommend having, you know, a support system to just people who, you know, love you no matter what and will keep you trying. So, good question though. There were days when I didn't want to keep going. Yes. I know, you're a
Are you thinking about writing a sequel?
I am actually. I'm working on the sequel right now, and it's called Crescendo, and it's due out October of this year. And it's kind of funny because my deadline, I was just telling Kathy, my deadline is March 15th. So I turn it into my editor, and then I'm pretty much done. I mean, I do have to do a few small things, but the publishing, you know, side then takes charge, and it doesn't come out until October. So I'll be done with it in March, and I'll be wanting to talk about it, and people will be emailing me, and I'll have to refrain from saying anything. So, yes, it comes out in October. Yes.
How do you feel now that you became so fast in the New York Times bestseller list?
When I found out that the Hush Hush had made the New York Times bestseller list, I didn't cry. I think I was too excited to cry, but I felt, you know, like inside, just knowing that I had spent 5 years working on this book, and that so many people had rejected it, and all I wanted was just to get it published. There aren't words to describe that feeling. I mean, imagine, you know, you all have goals and dreams and hopes, and if the goal that you want the most in this life just seemed impossible, and you've been working at it for so long, and then to suddenly have everything just come together, you know, and work out for you, it's just like, it just feels amazing. Amazing. I still don't believe it. You know, I still sometimes think, you know, the new cover has this, the New York Times bestseller, and I look at that and think, is that right? Like, is that really supposed to be on that book? So, it's great. It's a great feeling. Wait, Andy. Remind me if I forget. Oh, thank you. That was so sweet of you. Are you Fausto?
Yes.
Yes. Hi. It's so nice to meet you. We know each other online. Oh, thank you. That was so sweet of you. That's sweet. Yes.
Okay, it's kind of a mean question.
Okay,
but,
mean questions are good.
Do you have a favorite character?
I do. And it's not Patch, surprisingly. It's not. It's V. Because her character was inspired by two of my childhood best friends. So I know there are people who just can't stand her, but when I when I read V or when I'm writing V, it just takes me back, and I feel like I am, you know, 15 years old again, and my crazy best friends are saying, no, we can totally do this. No, we're not going to get in trouble. Oh, you'll be fine. You know, of course, I'm not fine. I do get in trouble. But, yeah, V is my favorite. Yes.
With writing being so personal, I mean, even the stuff that I write, I don't show anybody because it's so personal. What gave you the courage to try and share that with anybody?
I'm not sure I realized at the time, you know, and now I do get emails from people, you know, and most of them are positive, but I do get, you know, those emails. And I do, you know, I'm a sensitive person. I'm a writer. I take it personally. I try not to, but I had no clue, you know, what people were going to say, or because a lot of times it doesn't hurt me when people talk about the characters of the book, but when they say this author is clearly a psycho, you know, whatever, it's personally. So I just think, I dove right in having no clue what it was going to be like, and maybe that's the best way to do it. Just jump into the pool and sink or swim. So here's your candy. Don't forget your candy.
Yes. Like if you were sitting at your computer or notebook, did you have to hours of writer's block?
I used to. The beginning of that 5 years, I was a pantser right by the seat of your pants, and I would sit down and, some days it was working great, and some days I had no clue what I was doing. And then I went to a writers conference called Left Coast Crime. It's for mystery and suspense writers, and it was in Denver in 2008. And one of the speakers there encouraged us to try outlining. So this is the outline for Crescendo. And before I even started writing the book, I wrote every scene that was going to happen in the book on one of these cards. And it has changed at least 5 times since I started writing. So it's constantly changing. But here's the prologue. This is what happens in the prologue. And this has made my life so much easier because I know the end before I even begin the book. And every day when I sit down to write, I flip to my, current page and I say, oh, okay, today I'm going to be writing about this. And each of these colors means something. Pink means, I'm very satisfied with the way this scene stands now. Blue means it needs a lot of work. So we've got some scenes in there that need lots of work. They all mean something to me. So if you are a writer, I highly recommend, not every author likes this, but I do recommend trying both, pantsing and outlining, and maybe, I found that I hit writer's block so rarely now that I have my handy note cards, so give it a try. Did I give you candy? No! All right. Thank you for your question. You're welcome. Yes.
Have you met, since this has been published, have you met any of the agents or editors who rejected you?
You look familiar too. Yes, okay. Thanks for coming. I hope your face looks familiar. Interestingly enough, I did have several agents email me after they saw sales are announced. When a book sales, it's usually announced on Publishers Marketplace. Am I thinking of this right? You guys, yes, okay. And they saw the deal announced, and several of the agents emailed me and said, wow, congratulations, and they sounded, wow, your story sold, it's amazing. So, they're very polite. But it was fun, and you could tell by the tone of the email, they were kind of like, is this really you, the girl that, queried me? So, it was fun that they, would respond and remember me and congratulate me. But, I haven't seen any of them in person or whatever. So, we have a question. I keep forgetting. Yes, over here.
My name's Christy. I was wondering in the sequel if you're going to be focusing more on Patch's background.
Sure. So in the sequel, Crescendo, you find out a little bit more about Patch's background. Not a whole lot, but I've had a lot of requests for that. So if I write a 3rd book, it will definitely be about Patch's past. In book 2, you find out a lot about Nora's past and her connections to Marcy. You find out a lot about Marcy's past, Nora's father's past, and how it was linked to Patch. So you get a little bit, you get quite a bit, but you don't find out, a lot of people want to know what happened when Patch fell, that first time, and you don't find that out in Crescendo. If I write a 3rd book, you will. So